Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 223 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. Does it seem like time is flying by super fast? It does to me. I mean, they say time flies when you're having fun, so I guess I'm having a ball because it's flying by. So I gave a speech this last week to my Toastmasters Club called Showing Up as Your Best. And when you hear that, sometimes you might think, ugh, that's tiring, because how am I always supposed to be my best? No one's always their best. But you see, that's a thought that doesn't serve us. That's a comparative thought. It's only tiring if you're comparing yourself to someone else's best. Your best is your best, and you're the only one that truly knows what that is. You're the only one that knows if you're giving it your all in that HIT class, or if you're giving it your best when you show up at work, or when you're doing anything really. The reason why I say that is sometimes your best is going to be simply showing up. During my Toastmaster speech, I asked everyone to raise their hand if they had ever showed up to one of our club meetings, even though they didn't feel like it. Now, these meetings are at 7 a.m. every Friday, and you're going to be put on the spot. That's by design. The goal is to be able to speak on the fly when you need to, and to speak well when you do. As you can probably guess, every single person raised their hand. I mean, maybe they showed up even though they hadn't had enough sleep. Or maybe they had tons going on that day. Or maybe they were giving a speech and didn't feel as prepared as they wanted. But they still showed up. On any given week, our best might be just showing up to that meeting. And because we showed up, we're better for it. Even though we didn't knock it out of the ballpark with a speech that day, maybe we got to watch someone else that did. And maybe that speech inspired us and lifted us. Our best was simply showing up. And because we simply showed up, we got better. Think about all the times in your life when you didn't feel like doing something and you did it anyway. And then you were so glad you did. A lot of times good things come from that. And sometimes simply showing up to the gym inspires you to show up again. Maybe your workout wasn't that great, but you still got there. You were around other like-minded people. You saw that girl that was working her butt off. And because you showed up, you were inspired by her. And a lot of times we think if we didn't have a good workout, then it doesn't count. But it's the consistency of showing up that counts more than anything. Because it keeps that habit intact. Same thing for our nutrition. Sometimes we think because we ate one bad meal or slipped up, that means we failed and we're just going to give it all up for the week. No, you're human. Just get right back on track. That's showing up for yourself. You keep doing that and you're going to be just fine. And maybe it's not physical for you. Maybe you need to be showing up for yourself mentally. Showing up for yourself mentally might mean you set boundaries in your relationships and then you keep them. Maybe you tell your teenager if they speak to you that way again, they don't get to use the car, and you mean it. That's showing up for yourself. Or you tell your sister or your mom if they speak to you like that again, you'll hang up the phone and you'll talk when they're calm. That's a boundary that you get to set. Now, sometimes maybe there's topics that you have to set boundaries around. Maybe religion or politics are a cause for problems in your relationship, so you decide for yourself that's not a topic you discuss with anyone. That's a boundary. Maybe it's not them that's having the problem. Maybe you don't like yourself when you talk about that stuff because you identify too strongly with one side or another, so it's hard to be open. Well, showing up for yourself, maybe setting a boundary to not talk about it until you don't feel so strongly about it. For me, I notice I have pretty strong feelings about the vaccines, for instance, and it's such a contentious topic anymore. I've decided that until I can be open to every opinion without getting upset, it's not going to be a topic I engage on. That's showing up for myself. That's what I've decided is best for me. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Now, we're realizing more and more that in this life, in this journey, even though we're all pretty much connected, we have to be responsible and, show up for ourselves first. For those of us with big dreams of making the world a better place, that starts with us. I mean, we make the world a better place when we make ourselves better. And society will like to tell you that that's a selfish thing. I mean, to worry about yourself and to focus on improving yourself first. But when Gandhi said to be the change you wish to see in the world, I think that's one of the things he meant. When you show up for yourself and you set boundaries for yourself and you work on making yourself better, you're inspiring others to do the same. And that's the way one person can change the world, by simply showing up for yourself. And when you show up, even though you're not feeling it, a lot of times you leave feeling it simply because you showed up. It's happened to me time and time again at Toastmasters, at the gym, at work events. Now, sometimes I'm the one doing my best just to simply show up and be there. And other times, I'm the one knocking it out of the park with my speech, inspiring others to be their best. And if I had to guess, that's the same with you too, because that's life. You aren't always going to be the one knocking it out of the park. But when you commit to at least showing up, you give yourself the chance to be that person the next time. Share this with 3 people today and hop over to Apple and give me a 5-star rating if you're loving the episodes. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.